What's up, guys? Welcome back to their Team Solemn Circus live match. On the left side here, we have Kashtira Speedroids, just playing the unicorn package. Pretty good. It is a win monster, going to be able to special himself out, of course, and being a powerhouse. And on the right side here, we actually have Orcust Runick here, a deck that has, now seen played. Now that we have the card Harp Horror been back, been locked away since 2018 or 19, and we're finally free. The Runick cards being great removal, being able to destroy stuff, summon stuff out, banish your opponent's deck is going to be very nice. Before we dive in, if you like, comment, subscribe, we're going to be seeing the player on the left, the Speedroids, going to be starting off with a unicorn being smashed down. This will be what activates effect, searching for a birth, which can essentially be another level 7, the unicorn when it gets either linked or sync or summoned away, which we're going to be seeing the eye thing being summoned, the dice, and that's going to be going into the copy of Rubber Band Shooter, putting that unicorn in the graveyard so that we can reborn it back out with birth. And then we're going to be seeing the Rubber Band Shooter being able to banish for cost and then trying to reveal 2 of them. So trying to go for a level 7, but it's getting hit with Ash. Then we're going to be seeing Unicorn being summoned back out with that birth, setting 1 additional card here, and just passing turn on this. It does also give an additional normal summon, but we do not have anything to normal summon, it looks like. So we're going to be passing on that. A lot of times you end up, normal summoning that card you searched, either being the Tacky Tomborg or the Yo-Yo. But now we're going to be seeing on the territory of the Orcust Runick deck here. We will have Harp Horror potentially being summoned. Gearsu is a very powerful card as well. But we can set up some very powerful stuff, by banishing and destroying cards of our opponent with those Runick cards. And we don't need that much of a battle phase because of the fact that, we have Ding, Descend, and also a bunch of stuff to be able to equip. Or not equip, but attach. But we're going to see them activate a Flashing Fire to summon out the copy of the Hugin here, activating the effect, discarding an Ash Blossom, to then be able to search for a copy of the Fountain. But it's going to get hit with Ash itself. We are going to be seeing the Unicorn get activate its effects, looking at that extra deck, seeing what they have, and I believe they get rid of a copy of Galatea here. They're going to see the Destruction and activate its effect, destroying the copy of Birth, banishing the 3 cards, or 4 cards from their deck, and we do see them hit that trap of the Speedroids. We wanted to hit that Birth before they start banishing cards from our graveyard. We then see an Orcust return, discarding to draw 2 cards, discarding the Crystal Skeleton, and then we activate Talents to draw 2 more cards as well. And we're going to activate a copy of Fountain, and I believe we pass turn on this. Here we're going to see a Destruction on the other face down card. They're going to be letting that go through, and then we're going to activate a copy of Fountain to draw. And that looks like it's going to get hit with Ash Blossom here, which is a very fair Ash. You definitely want to stop a draw 3. But they have lost a bunch of their deck. We're going to see Speedroid Terratop activates effects here, banishing the copy of the Fast Dragon, I believe it's called. Well, that's going to get hit with an Ash Blossom once again. They're going to activate a Unicorn to rip the extra deck. And they hit a Hugin, or they actually hit Hugin the first time, and then hitting SP. That makes sense. Not wanting to hit that Galatea, of course. I think they're on 2 copies of Galatea. That makes sense. I saw that they did banish the SP. I thought they banished a Link, but it happens to be SP, which is a good hit as well. I suppose getting rid of the second Hugin is going to be problematic, but they already have the Fountain there, so maybe not as the best hit. But we're going to see them pass and then pass back. We're going to activate the effect once again here of the Speedroid. They're going to be banishing the level 5, and then we're going to be able to search. And of course, they hit the Terratop there, but we can still summon out, or level 6, I should say. Then we summon out the Marble Boy, and that can search us for the Tacky Tomborg. Tacky Tomborg can then special summon himself out, activate the effect, summoning out the Duke one. Then we're going to go for a copy of the Shambara, and our opponent's just going to scoop it up there, realizing that their game is going to be lost to that. I mean, it can attack twice, which is pretty good, and then, of course, I think, yeah, they have the dealing damage, but it's just it doesn't really do very much. It's really not a good good match to see. But we did see like a +4, potentially even a +7 there from the Runick player, but just not having enough, not having anything to really, the proper cards to draw into there. As well as we did see like Ash Blossoms being hit. Having double Ash is rough, and then double Destruction, and not being able to draw another Runick card to be able to draw more Runick cards is kind of rough as well. But moving on to game 2 here, we will be seeing the Runick deck going to be choosing to go first, which is quite good for them. Those Runick cards are very powerful going first, being able to get like multiple draws set up, as well as having a potential putting Fountain on the field, and then also getting to be able to use them during your opponent's turn. Now, like when you're going second, you don't have that opportunity to use them during the first turn, which is obvious because they're quick play spells. But maybe we'll see some Orcust combos here, because we haven't seen any in the first game. All we saw was a draw 2, discarding the Skeleton, which doesn't do very much. We are going to be seeing a Slumber, summoning out a copy of Fuga and activating the effect, discarding a second Slumber. This was my problem when I was playing the Runick cards, drawing multiples. Again, let's search for a copy of the Fountain, place Fountain, activate a Foolish Burial, dumping the Harp Horror himself, activating the effect, summoning out the Girsu from the deck, activating Girsu effect, dumping Nightmare from the deck here. Now this is the power of the deck, linking those away for a copy of Galatea, and then we can banish the Nightmare to then get us a copy of World Wand. Powerful cards. We then get to put back to search for the spell here, going for a return. We're going to be banishing the World Wand, then we're going to activate the effect of the return to draw 2 cards by sending the Harp Horror to the graveyard here. And we could just go for a copy of Dingirsu. We're going to have a tip as well, searching for a copy of the Freezing Curses here. Then we're going to be banishing a good copy, the card Turbo. We have to put back to draw 3 cards here. Talk about so free. We just drew 5. That's what we just did, which is pretty nice. Drawing 5 during our turn is quite good. Then we're going to see Dingirsu is going to be able to attach the World Wand here. And that beautiful alternate rarity. These cards have been out for such a long time. And having that like OG ultimate rares just looks so nice. We're going to see a Flashing Fire going to activate to then be able to summon itself out. A copy of Gary. Then we can normal summon out Ash Blossom and then go into an SP here. And then Girsu is going to get banished off that SP. Then we get to set a card. I think it is just the quick play or the counter trap, but I could be mistaken. We're going to see a Unicorn being special summoned down here. The first summon of the day, or of this, that's going to get hit with a copy of Flashing Fire, trying to destroy it before it gets to activate the effects there. Maybe having another copy of a Runick spell, not wanting that draw 1. We're going to see them summon out the Terror Top here. Also in the ultimate rarity, being a very beautiful card. I miss when we got to see ultimate rares from like the OTS packs being played all the time. Like looking at this, we have Terror Top and we have Ding on the field, which is just underneath Ding there is a Galatea, which is kind of crazy. But we're going to search for a copy of the card Turbo here, which I can believe it special summons itself out. But we're going to summon out the Tacky Tomborg, activate the effect there. And this is going to get hit with a copy of... We could see SP actually chain out, but no, it's going to be going through. Summoning out Duke, perhaps? Going for the Duke here, okay. Then we're going to see them go for a copy of the Draw 1 Stardust Charge Warrior here, drawing a card. We're then going to see them look at their extra deck here. They do have the Duke in the graveyard that can banish itself, summon out a Tuner from the graveyard, which you're going to see them activate banishing itself to summon out potentially maybe the dice from the graveyard. Choosing to go for the dice in the hand instead. This can let them go into a copy of Fastwing here. Are they going to try to beat over the SP? Surely it's just going to be chained to the SP, though. I mean, I guess they could activate the effect, negate, and then that turn, like, if they go for the Dingirsu, then they have to, like, chain SP. You see them go for the copy of Speedroid Double Yo-Yo. That's going to let them a reborn out from the graveyard here. Going for a reborn of... I'm not sure which one they want to do. Or maybe they're thinking to negate this? I think they're targeting the Speedroid dice. And it looks like... I mean, it could be met with a copy of Freezing Curses, right? Now it's going to resolve here, summoning out the dice. I mean, they could just chain SP to that, but they're going to be seeing them going to synchro away into a copy of the... I don't even know what this one does. It's like the shooter or the ball pin, whatever. But like, I don't know exactly where we're going for this. I think they were trying to go for a Crystal Wing, but we're going to see the card Turbo going to be summoning itself out. This is going to be able to give us a rank, or a level 10 or a level 11 Synchro. Or no, it's a level 3, so it's going to be level 8 or a level 10 Synchro here. They're going to chain SP to this, targeting the Speedroid. And it looks like we're thinking and chain to this. They're going to activate the Clear Wing. They're going to be chaining the effect of a Freezing Curses to negate. And then it's going to get banished. We then get to summon out the card Turbo. We get to put back with the Runick cards to draw additional cards there. So free every time. I don't think this is going to be Speedroid's game, to be honest. We could potentially go for a Barone, maybe? But I just don't know if that's going to get us anywhere. We're going to see them attempt to go for a Barone. If that is a face-down counter trap here, it's going to be problematic, but we're going to see them activate the effect to protect, trying to pop it, and then attack and protect it once again. And then we're going to be seeing them set a card, getting hit with a Destruction there right off the bat. And then we're going to go tip for a copy of Flashing Fire. So during the draw phase of the next turn, we can go ham here. Of course, we bring back the SP. But we can just go Flashing Fire right away. We're going to see the effect trying to negate the copy of... Or we're going to see, Flashing Fire get negated by the nib. And then we're going to activate Slumber here. And then it's going to be able to protect. We are going to get those draws now because we did see that Flashing Fire's activation was negated. Therefore, Fountain cannot put it back to draw. We do also see a change of heart in the Speedroids deck. So maybe having like a little bit of problems going second and wanting to take a bunch of cards. I mean, they do have a few monsters they could take. Taking an SP is never rough. Then we're going to see them banish the Hard Forward, summon out the Girsu there. We're also going to make it a tuner because there's 2 cards in the same column. And we're not trying to go for any synchros here. Then we're going to see the Crystal Skeleton being normal summoned out. We're going to link away or into a copy of Galatea here. Galatea can then get us... We're going to see the Orcust Skeleton being able to summon out the copy of the Galatea from the graveyard here. We're going to be setting the copy of the return, and then it's going to let us summon out. And then we're going to be going into a copy of the Long Gear Stew here. And then we get to make Ding on top of that. Ding will be able to attach the wand. At this point, it should just be game. We're going to be seeing the return being able to send the Gear Stew to draw 2 additional cards here. A Talents to take, taking the Barone. Barone can then pop the monster. Or we can just go for a Typhon as well. Typhon can then bounce. And like at this point, we're just winning this game, right? We have 1 card left going to be on top deck. We clearly have Runick cards, as well as an IP Dingirsu. We're going to see them normal summon out the Marble Duke, or the Marble, not Duke, I should say. And then that's going to let us get out a copy of Tacky Tomborg here. We can summon out the Tacky Tomborg. This is going to let us go into a copy of the Band Shooter here. And that's just going to banish for cost. This might be a good SP target. But they're just going to scoop it up here, realizing they do not have enough. You know, probably don't have any more targets in deck, to be honest, for this. And like running very low on fumes, and they do not have the speed to catch up. But they will have game 3 they can choose to go first with, which is going to be good for them. Unicorn is somewhat of a powerhouse, and then of course if they can set up like a double Crystal Wing, it's quite good. But the problem is this deck does kind of struggle against those spells and traps. Birth is really good against Runick. You know, being able to just banish those cards from the graveyard and making them not able to essentially put them back with Fountain ever, letting that not resolve even 1 bit here. Especially if they end up going first, like, you know, it's going to be Chainlink 1 is going to be Fountain, Chainlink 2 can be Birth. Putting those cards back, like, is just, or banishing them face down, just absolutely just hurts the deck. Even if you're going like 1 for 1 and like banishing a copy of Harp Horror or even like a tip, anything just hurts the deck significantly. But other than that, I don't think they have very much like protection against those spells and traps. But Runick is not that great going second, which is important to note. I mean, they do have those cards like Destruction and then Flashing Fire as well as Freezing Curses to be able to pick apart that board. But a lot of times they won't get that recursion to be able to draw without using one of their effects to summon. Which is why they play like Slumber. I mean, Slumber is good regardless, but like why they can play Slumber and then, you know, Search as well as then going to be able to trigger. And even if they do discard off Hugin, I mean, discarding a, like we saw, Harp Horror doesn't do anything negative for the deck at all. We're going to see them normal summon out a Droll, activate Tacky Tomborg to summon, and then activate the effect. Will they see this they will see it get hit with an Ash Blossom. They do have the Call by the Grave, though. This will protect them from Ash during the following turn, though. And then let's see, we're going to be summoning out the Piper here. This will give them an additional draw-ish, like they're going to excavate the top card of their deck and then draw it. Then they draw to an anti-spell. That is crazy. It reveals from the top of the deck whatever the amount of cards of wind monsters you control, and then +1. Or not +1, but just then adds 1 of them. But of course, they only have 1 of them on the field. They're going to be just drawing 1 essentially. But they do excavate. But drawing into a copy of Anti-Spell is absolutely nuts. They can go link away into the copy of the Rubber Band, and then they're going to be choosing 1 randomly. They end up hitting the copy of the Double Yo-Yo. Then they can normal summon out the Terror Top here with the secondary effect of the Rubber Band Shooter, you know, being able to conduct that additional normal summon. And then we're going to be seeing Terror Top and activate its effects here. Shooting us for a card Turbo. And then card Turbo will summon himself out. We can then go into a level 6, going into that copy of the Stardust to draw an additional card here. And we did hit them with Ash Blossom, but they get called by. So we won't be able to activate that during the next turn. We see Speed Recovery summoning out the card Turbo once again. This can go for a 9 now. Going for a copy of the... Is that a copy of Virtual World Shen Shen? It is a copy of Shen Shen here. You know, being a type of banished You know, kind of like a Macrocosmos. And we're going to see a draw phase, activate, anti-spell, smack down with the destruction. Get that out of here. Then we're going to be banishing a copy of the Terra Tomborg. Not Terra Tomborg, we see a Terratops being banished there off of that. But we are getting rid of the destruction. We're then going to see a Slumber going to be activating to summon itself out, going for the copy of Hugin. And we've now gotten rid of 2 of the runic spells. It's going to be discarding a copy of the Harp Horror. And that's going to be searching us for a copy of Fountain. But they're not going to be able to get those 2 cards back here. So already making the consistency of the deck extremely worse. Then we're going to be seeing them normal summon out a Harp. Or not normal summoning Harp. Or normal summoning out the Gearsu there. Being able to send an Orcust Nightmare. And we do hit them with a Droll and Lockbird off of the copy of Hugh. And I forgot to mention that, you know, very good. They don't have a battle phase, but they can go for some other stuff. Going for a Galatea there. You know, getting rid of a copy of the Gearsu already. We're going to be seeing a Nightmare going to be banishing itself to be able to summon back there. And we're going to be placing a copy of the Reborn from the deck by returning the Gearsu. We can then go Orcust, or not Orcust, but we can then go into Ding, which is going to be able to send the copy of Shen here, making sure that we don't banish more cards. We then banish the Harp Horror to summon out the copy of the Symbol Skeleton here. Banishing the Nightmare to then summon out the Harp. Which is not going to be able to do very much. You know, we don't really have a way to get into, like, we can go into Long Gearsu, but it's not going to do terribly too much. They don't want to go for another Galatea. I mean, they could just go for going for a Link to those cards should be banished. The World Wand. They're going to go for a Talents here to take. They're going to be linking away for the Long Gearsu, but those cards are banished. We can't banish the Crystal because those cards are in graveyard, but we're going to be seeing them link away for an SP, activate Fountain and pass. I'm not too sure we're forgetting all this, but we will see the Unicorn being summoned here. Activating the effect, going to be chaining the SP. This will still get to search for the Birth, which can bring back out the copy of the Unicorn, but we do have the Speed Recovery in the graveyard, which can banish itself to add back a copy of the Yo-Yo, which will be able to bring back out something else from the graveyard. Most likely a copy of the Speedroid Terratop, which can then get us another copy of a card. But we will be able to search here for the Tacky Tomboy, which is a free special summon as well. You know, having multiple cards now, going for that advantage, which we can summon himself out, activating the effects. I do wonder what that set card is. It could potentially be the counter trap, but chances are not. Going for the speed dice here. And this is going to be, let us synchro away into the Kite Drake. And then looks like we're going to be activating a Birth, bringing back out the Unicorn here. There's no way we have an XYZ for this, right? We're going to be banishing the copy of the card Turbo, making our monsters gain attack. Then we can attack with the Unicorn, activating the effects, banishing, and then it's going to be attacking over the Dingirsu here. And somehow we forgot that these cards are banished. I still don't know how we forgot that. We're going to be summoning out the SP in the end phase here. Then we can activate the Harp to be able to, this one would have been able to be activated, so we're going to be seeing them summon out the copy of the Gear Suit. Then going to be SP is going to be tagging out into the kite, or with the Kite Drake there. We're going to be chaining the Unicorn. And then we're going to be seeing the effects of the Gear Suit. Put the 2 tokens on the field, linking away into the copy of the Link Kribo. We're going to be bringing back out the copy of the Orcust Skeleton. I'm still like, yeah, this is a barricade board blocker. Can then discard the copy of Nightmare. Then we're going to be seeing them banished to summon out from the graveyard the Long Gear Suit. This is going to let them go into potentially a access code line, I believe. We're going to see them put back and we can go for, we did skip battle phase the last turn, I believe, so we have not activated a runic card since. Therefore we will have a battle phase. We're going to see them go into the copy of access code. They did take 12 already. Then they're going to be access coding, banishing the Unicorn there. And then we're going to see them going to go battle phase, attack, and that's going to be a good solid damage. SP returning onto the field here. Not going to be enough, but it's still going to be quite a lot. 53. And we're seeing Kite Drake being summoned back out. Then they can summon out the Unicorn once again. But we are going to be seeing momentarily time being called with them being ahead in life points here. So seeing the Orcust deck end up taking the win there. Definitely a huge misplay that we saw with those cards being put back in the graveyard. Not sure how that really happened. But regardless, hopefully you enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And we'll see some more content like this. Don't forget to stay safe. Peace.